In the field of 3D animation, Blender, as you probably have noticed in recent years, emerged as an exceptional alternative to many of the dominant 3D animation packages like Max, Cinema 4D, or even Maya. However, with the rise of AI in the field, we have seen new challenges emerging onto the scene, and trying to take the spot of Blender and 3D animation software in general, most notably Cascadeur, one of the most exciting 3D software right now, which is trying to revolutionize the field, especially in animation, by offering a fresh approach to creating animations with AI. But how does it do that? And what are the differences between Blender and Cascadeur? And which one is actually better in creating animations? The story of Cascadeur started over 18 years ago, which is surprising to many, when Evgeny Dyabin, the brain behind the idea and currently the co-founder and senior producer of Cascadeur, was trying to animate a simple character flip animation in one of the standard 3D software that we have right now. And to his surprise, he wasted a lot of time trying to find the center of mass, which seemed like a basic feature any 3D animation software should have, because he thought it would be the perfect pivot point for rotating a character mid-air, when he realized there wasn't a single 3D animation software with such a basic feature, let alone tools for more complex tasks like creating physically correct rotation, something that is still missing in 3D software to this day. And he said, you know what, I will just make one myself, meaning a 3D animation software. After that, Evgeny started the creation of a simple animation software in 2006 for his personal use and as an internal animation tool for Neki, a video game development company founded in 2002 by Dmitry Trekin. The first prototype was very basic, featuring only 2D animation capabilities. However, by 2009, Neki noticed a spark of genius in his project and decided to build a fighting game out of it, as well as completely rewriting the editor from scratch to work with the 3D world that had real physics in it. And I can say this is the start of the story of Cascadeur. After a successful run as an internal tool for Neki in games such as Shadow Fight and Vector, Cascadeur officially made its public debut in 2019 as a unique alternative to traditional 3D animation software, and from there, it took off and became very popular. This video is sponsored by XPPen and their Amazon Prime Day sale event, which will be from July 16th to July 17th. This yearly sale will offer discounts of up to 50% off, and XPPen has been crushing it lately with awesome tablets and even better stylus. So if you want to finally get serious about the artistic journey that you have, or if you've been eyeballing a tablet for a while, this sale might be a best chance to grab one of the many high-quality drone displays, tablets, and accessories up for grabs. And the great thing about XPPen is that they have something for everyone, at every price range. XPPen released a new Android drawing tablet, Magic Drawing Pad for the artists, and if you want to overcompensate and go with something bigger, the Artist 22 Pro or 24 or 24 Pro is a great pick. But if you want some of the newer second generation displays like the Artist Pro 14 and the Pro 16 second generation, that is also an amazing value for the money. XPPen also offers drawing tablets like the Deco Pro Generation 2, Deco 01 version 2, Star G640, and much more. So check out the XPPen store to know more about the sale by clicking the link in the description down below. Now, it is no secret that Blender, like many other of its kind, serves as a Swiss Army knife in the 3D content creation world by offering a generalized set of tools. It covers the entire animation pipeline, which can be broken down into 3 core elements, which are rigging, animation, and interpolation. Of course, 3D animation is a vast field with many methodologies, but given that Cascadeur relies purely on skeletal animation, it's only fair to make it the center of the comparison. To give you a quick rundown, skeleton animation or rigging is a technique where a character or an object is divided into 2 parts, a 3D model connected to a set of virtual interconnected bones which are used to animate it. While Blender isn't exactly the cream of the crop in rigging, it is still one of the best and first tools that comes to mind when you think about the concept. You can grab any character or object and start to build a rig that fits the anatomy from scratch, or alternatively, you can make the process easier with the help of add-ons or pre-made armature. Then you can automatically assign the rig to the 3D model and make each bone control a specific part of that model. However, you can also adjust the parts that the bone influences using weight painting. But the real fun begins after that, because you get the opportunity to animate the character by posing it around and adding keyframes. You can do all of that manually if you want to, but there are always ways to make it easier by adding constraints, which is a group of tools that can automatically control an object's position, scale, or orientation, and even limit these movements. One of the most common systems is inverse kinematics, a method where you can move the end of a limb like a hand or a foot, and the rest of the body or the rest of the limb will naturally adjust to follow. As an icing on the top, we have interpolation, a concept which calculates the in-between frames between the keyframes, if that makes sense. Or you can either pick one of the presets like easy in and out, or build your own with things like curves and noises. To be precise, these quirks aren't exclusive to Blender and have been the standard across all DCC software for ages. Well, at least until Cascadeur entered the scene and turned things upside down. With its high level of automation with AI and auto physics, which I get, it has a bit of sketchy reputation in today's 3D space. At the same time, I feel like Cascadeur is one of the most ethical tools to adopt this technology because it keeps the artist at the forefront of the production. And it is just a tool that makes your job as an animator less tedious by being able to achieve realistic and natural motion with minimal editing while still being the one who actually gets the job done. At first glance, this software might seem intimidating, but honestly, it boils down to just 3 simple steps, because the entire gimmick of the software is being an easy 3D animation tool that helps you get the job done. For starters, it comes with a one-click standard skeleton, where you can just drag and drop your character and quickly generate a rig automatically. And then you have auto posing and auto physics, the heart and the soul of the software. Auto posing uses the power of neural networks, a method in AI that teaches computer to process data in a way that is inspired by the human brain to figure out the pose that you want to set up for your character. Think of it this way, moving any of the rig joints makes an active point by default, and each time you move it, the inactive points will react realistically. And instead of interpolation, you have autophysics, a suite of tools that use physics-based algorithms to analyze the keyframes that you have created and suggest a physically accurate animation between them. The autophysics tools can correct the dynamic balance in movements, correct trajectories, as well as rotations in jumps, and add secondary movements and so many more stuff to greatly improve the quality of animation and can really speed up your work. Besides, you can turn off any of these autophysics or choose their level of influence in addition to many other side features that you can find in Cascadeur, such as mocap cleanup or working with weapons. Conceptually speaking, even though the video title is Blender vs Cascadeur, I feel like beneath it we have a hidden clash between the old school versus new school animation techniques. But what's important to know is that Cascadeur, just like Blender, still offers traditional interpolation, animation graphs for curves, IK, FK, and all those good stuff. And it is your choice to use the AI features or not. So you might think Cascadeur is the clean winner here because it is the same with extra features, right? Well, not exactly, and here is why. While Cascadeur has rigging features, it is nowhere near what you have in Blender. But the question is, do you need all that? Well, not really, since it focuses more on animation. But it is important to mention that with Blender, you can manually rig and add a skeleton to anything that you want, and however you want, which gives you a wider range of control and a wider pool of animation types, such as animated vehicles, shapes, or mechanical structures, or anything you can think of for that matter. On the other hand, as a general rule of thumb, Cascadeur can only do rigging automatically and on humanoid characters, with some exceptions of manual rigs, but honestly, it can be very slow and not intuitive, and much more limited. For example, it doesn't have the same sense of freedom like in Blender, where you can do whatever you want, and it doesn't also have the same ability to set up complex mechanical systems with the help of constraints and so on. In the same vein, Cascadeur can be great for animated humanoids, animals, and probably insects, depending on the type, and maybe you can get away with some additional stuff in different categories, but in general, that's about it. In addition to the complete lack of some key features such as facial rigging, blend shapes, white painting, and much more. Okay, how about animation that Cascadeur actually supports? Personally, I'm a bit conservative about this, and this is for two reasons. First, the AI guesses the physics between keyframes, but what if what I guessed isn't what I was looking for? Depending on the outcome, you might want to do it manually anyway. And secondly, it is important to emphasize that the animation is an art form before it is a science. When working on stylized animations, for example, Cascadeur AI tools might not be the most suitable choice because they are designed to achieve realism, which may not always align with exaggerated movements which are often needed in stylized animation. Even in realistic animation, there are situations where you need to incorporate some stylized elements of animations, such as adding impact to a punch or conveying a character's personality through their unique walk cycle. Generally, there are many theoretical aspects in animation that can subtly influence our emotions as viewers, and can guide us through a story and better communicate how impactful a movement is. So it shouldn't be boiled down to whether it is realistic or not, because it is a form of expression after all. Generally, Cascadeur's AI tools are the best for realistic animation and definitely a path where the industry will be heading in the future. However, it still shouldn't overcome software with traditional animation methods like Blender, Maya, Max, and so on. And when it comes down to which one is better, I think it depends on the use cases, or in other words, I think they can compete each other if you can use them smartly. But for important animations, I mean on bigger projects, it is better to manually control your animations even if you use Cascadeur. But for everyday realistic animations, Cascadeur can be unrivaled and can really cut down your workload. Obviously, some would agree and others not so much, but this is just my own personal experience with these two software. And if you have a different opinion, make sure to leave a comment down below. I hope you guys found this video useful and informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You can also check our previous videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.